That's been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace. And but for your grace, I could not say.
Hi guys, it's me, Piano, and how's it going? So we're going to talk about master the art of accompaniment. Piano as a backup instrument. So let's see when you are an accompanier, a backup piano player. You understand? Accompaniment when you're a backup piano player. A lot of people who play as auxiliary. So let's just say auxiliary keyboardist, because that accompaniment it's a big grammar for some people to speak. Okay, so as a backup keyboardist or as a backup piano player, what is expected of you in a full setting when you have a band, and the rest will be talking about this. We'll go slow and steady. I'll be giving you ideas you can apply and practical implementation of those ideas. So make sure you watch to the end of this video. Don't forget to share this video. And if you're not following, don't forget to also make sure you like, share, tell me where you're watching from. Yeah, just tell me where you're watching from and share this video so I can reach out to more persons to flow. So, we have to take it slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. So now, you ask yourself, okay, what does it mean to accompany? To accompany, what does it mean to act as a backup instrument? Now, first thing you have to understand. Now, just so we do something. Now, if you listen to this sound, I'm going to ask you, what do you think about this sound? So tell me what you think about this sound.
But for your grace, I could not.
So this is sound we're using for, this is soundtrack we're using for.
But for your grace, I would go my way. I'm forever grateful that it been.
Now, as beautiful as it sounds, you will notice I'm going to explain some things that, when an accompaniment, like a backup piano is added to this sound, you will understand it can sound even more beautiful. You understand? It can sound even more beautiful, more lovely, and more interesting. So now, as I was trying to say something, I said, in a live setting, a full live setting, you understand, your every instrument playing is originally a backup instrument. They are all backing the lead singer in a live setting. You understand? Every instrument playing, they are originally backing up the lead singer. But most people, they don't understand that you're actually backing up the lead singer. But there are some situations whereby it is a full band, whereby there's no lead singer. So at that point, there are some times whereby a particular instrument can become the lead instrument. You understand? So let's get that first, because I have to explain little by little, so that when we get to where we are going to, we arrive very well. You understand? Okay, now in a live setting, a real life situation where you have a singer, you have your band, full band, and the rest, and you are acting as an auxiliary keyboard. What does it mean to be an auxiliary keyboardist, a backup keyboardist? It means you are assisting the main keyboard. There's a main keyboardist, there's an auxiliary keyboard. If you check in the display button of this, in the display screen right now, you see me. I have two keyboards, but this is just doing one. One is doing the digital display, and the other one is showing my hand. But in real life situation, you will see two real keyboardists, like two keyboardists. One keyboardist is playing the main keyboard, the other keyboardist is playing the auxiliary keyboard. You understand? There's nothing actually like main. It's just you have chosen to do this. So I'm going to explain. I'm coming somewhere. I'm going slow and steady. So I'm going to get to somewhere. We'll get to somewhere. I'm also going to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you. This is my screen. So you see, I'm going to show you all of these where I've done vocals, drums, bass, piano, guitar. And I'm going to explain in details how this can go. And when we start using sounds like strings, trumpet, violin, flute, and other sounds you can suggest in the course of accompanying a main piano instrument, or when the piano is acting as a backup or an auxiliary keyboard. You understand? So there are different ways to do it. So first of all, what you have to understand is generally your keyboard is first acting as a backup instrument to your to the singer. But that is not where I want to base the lesson. I want to base the lesson on you backing up another keyboardist. So the both of you are actually now, let's do it like this. You have your main keyboardist, which is backing up, 1 second. You have your main keyboardist, which is backing up the singer. You understand? And then you are backing up the main keyboardist. So in total, the both of you are backing up the main singer. You understand? So I'm going to explain all that for you. Just a second. I want to do something. I'll continue. I'm not rushing today. You understand? I have a lot of time today. So take it slow and steady. It's going to be very interesting and a beautiful class you will enjoy. So make sure you watch to the end. Okay. So now, what are the different sounds you can use as a backup keyboardist? Let's listen to the sound. This is a simple regular worship song. Now in this sound, if you notice, there's a keyboard, there's a drum, there's a keyboard drum, there's a lead guitar, which is a clean guitar, and I think keyboard, drum, guitar, and bass. So you have 4 instruments. But you're serving as the auxiliary, which is you want to back up the main keyboard. Now, this is what we have. Most times, the issue that comes out in band, most band, when you're backing up with you want to play with your fellow keyboard, most keyboardists, most piano players, they find it difficult to play along with their fellow keyboardists. They're always fighting. It is not the time for you to show how skillful you want to start soloing. You want 2 of you are dragging. No. In a real life situation, 1 second. In a real life situation, this is how it should be. A particular instrument, let's say the bassist is holding the groove. Okay, let's switch. Let's switch now so that I'll show you. I'm coming to somewhere. I'm looking at the right avenue that I'm going to follow so that you pick out everything I want to explain. So let's take it slow and steady. And those people that are using headsets, they are the ones that are going to really enjoy this. So let's say we have a full live band right now. This is our vocal. This is our drum. You understand? So I'm going to switch this off and leave only the vocals. You see? But for your grace. So this is it. Now we have our drums playing. So you see? But for your grace, I could not be saved. You see the drums playing? But for your very lovely song. Now, we have our bass playing. So if you watch the drum, understand first of all that you are backing up somebody. So try not to be noisy. The drummer is playing okay, it's playing beautiful. Let's go to the bass. Remember I said I'll show you how to use strings, how to use pad, violins, lead guitar, a lot of stuff when you're acting as an auxiliary keyboard. But I like to go from little so that when I go deeper, you're going to explain. So let's continue. So this is the bass holding down the groove. But for your grace, I could you have to use your headphones if you want to hear the bass. But for your grace, now this is the main keyboardist. It's going to play. So this is piano playing. But for your grace, very simple. It is not a time for you to be, especially when you have an auxiliary keyboard and you have the main keyboard, especially you that is playing main keyboard, you have to be as disciplined as possible. It's not a time for you to make noise. listen to what this keyboardist is playing. For example, let me switch up the bass.
But for your grace, I could
Very
not
simple and beautiful.
be saved. But for your grace, I would
Even at that, it is still skillful. You can still see the skill and the beauty in it. It's not you're making too much noise because they say you're the main keyboardist. In fact, let me tell you the truth. Main keyboardist does not do as much work than the auxiliary keyboardist. The auxiliary keyboardists, they do more. In fact, they do more work. You understand? So main keyboardists, they don't work as they are. It is not as tasking. But do you know why it is tasking for main keyboardists? Why? It's most times if you have let's say a real life situation of a band and you go for a particular, it is the main keyboardist that does the introduction most time, that does all the key finding and the rest. After the main keyboardists have held down the groove, then the auxiliary keyboardists follow. So in an emergency situation, most times the auxiliary keyboardist will be looking at the main keyboard. I play the progression because this is the main keyboardist. You have to look out. What progression is this main keyboardist playing? Because two of you, your progressions must not clash. You have to look at, because you are accompanying him. It's just like you're a stretch of his arm. Those things he cannot play because he's having one keyboard. That's what you should play. You understand? So you shouldn't do it like you shouldn't do it like a fight. You're just a stretch. Now you that is playing main keyboard, don't play to the extent that you're too noisy. You don't even give the auxiliary keyboardist space. You want to show your skills. You want to play everything. There is no space. The music is not beautiful. It is not organized. It is noise and noise. Everybody wants to show how skillful they are. No. Hold your chords, hold your beautiful chords, flow with the progression, then let the music flow. You understand? So now let's listen to this music again, then we'll continue our class as it's going. So you see? Now if you watch, the main keyboard is here, you see piano, just playing simple progressions, music, no noise.
For your grace, I would go.
Cool. Now what happens when the main keyboardist is disciplined? It gives space for the auxiliary keyboardist to flow, and also for other instruments in the band to actually play and flow along. Very simple playing, just the keyboard. Now let's add the bass. You see, this is beautiful on itself, like this. You understand? Now we have guitar. Let's add the guitar. Now this is what the guitar was just playing. We've not even added auxiliary. Auxiliary, that's where we are coming. When we start adding auxiliary, you now see how beautiful, more beautiful this can sound. Now, let's say this is the guitar that I was playing.
But for your grace, I could not be saved.
This is beautiful. You have a beautiful sound. So, those music directors, coordinators, when you're coordinating your band, everybody should hold a particular groove, should be in the groove. You understand? So that the music is organized. Now, this is one tip I'll give you. When you're playing with a band, if you all are in a band, you understand? Listen to someone's groove. Then create a groove or a rhythm that doesn't affect. Because this is more like music production in an extent. What I mean is, if I'm going to play dun 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 dun, now you know someone is playing dun 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 dun. Don't play any groove that is going to interfere with that one. Instead, as the person do dun 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 dun, you play. If the person do dun 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 dun, pam pam dun 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 dun, pam pam dun 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 dun. So you are not doing pam pam, which is you're playing. You're not the space where you're playing in that music, it is not crashing with someone else's groove or rhythm. You understand? In fact, if you see that there are too many sounds in already and too many grooves, you can just press one note. You don't need to be noisy about it. You understand? This is going to help you organize yourself. Because a lot of keyboardists cannot play when they give them auxiliary keyboard to play. they don't even know how to play. They start playing different things. You understand? So first things first, everybody should be coordinated with the progression of the music. Flow with the same progression of the music. So that is the work of the main keyboardist, is for you to lead the auxiliary keyboardist with the original progression, because the auxiliary keyboardist is following your progression. So you as the auxiliary keyboardist, not as the start song immediately, boom, you just immediately want to play. You have not listened. What's the progression that this main keyboardist is going to flow? So that from there, I know what to add. You understand? Just like here, you see what's happening right now. So I'm going to switch on everything.
But for your grace,
Very simple.
I could not.
Very organized music.
But for your grace.
Now, this is what we have. Now, let's go back now. Then I say, okay, auxiliary keyboard. You listen to this song, see it's playing, and you're like, what do I add to this to add color? Let's listen again and see. As an auxiliary keyboardist, I'm not listening to the sound. I say, okay, everything is beautiful. Good. I say, okay, I can add some strings to this music to make it beautiful. And let me tell you something. When you're using strings and when you're using, for let's say, okay, let us take this as the first sound you can use as an auxiliary keyboard is strings. It's not like strings apply to all, you understand, but it's a good sound you can apply. Let me tell you something about strings that you don't know. Strings is a very powerful sound, you understand. So don't use it. It is not every time it should enter the music. If you're an auxiliary keyboardist, it should be used to how will I say it? To highlight some tension in the sound. It should be used to create some certain tension, to highlight some places. It's not as the keyboard is playing, the main auxiliary and main keyboard is playing, or the band is playing. You're playing strings from beginning to end. What is wrong with you? Do you want me to bite your ear or to drag your ear before you understand this? No. Now let us play this so I'll show you. Now let us say I have a strings right now. Now watch. I'll listen to the music. I listen to the band playing. I'm not going to come in yet. Now watch when I'm going to come in.
But for your grace, I could not.
I'm listening. I'm like, wow, beautiful. Okay, so that's the progression. I'm listening. Now you see when I'm going to come in now. I'm coming in here now.
I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace. And but for your grace, I could not.
See what's happening?
Be saved. But
Just one.
Your grace, I would go my way.
And I go again.
I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace.
See how beautiful it sounds. Organized. So you leave the main keyboardist to be, he's the one that is supposed to play at every instant because he's the main keyboardist. You understand? And main keyboardist, you can use any sound, but I mean, most of the time they use the ground piano and the main voice that is there. So he's the one that's playing steady because he has to hold down the groove also. Auxiliary keyboard is not every time you have to enter. Sometimes you enter, you pause. You enter, you create tension, you think, you change your sound. You understand? So if you are acting as a backup keyboardist, this is one thing you should take note. Imagine if I'm doing this.
But for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go.
It looks like it is beautiful to you, but sincerely, I must tell you, it is not organized. It is not organized. Now, when you play too steady like this, you are fighting with certain frequency with other instruments that is supposed to make the music beautiful. You're fighting with the lead guitarist, you're fighting with the bassist, you're fighting with the main keyboardist, you're fighting with the drummer, you're fighting with the singer. No. But if you play at a specific side of the music, you see, you just come in, you create tension, you pause. You come, especially if you're using a string voice. Let's go again with the sound. Now we enjoy the music like this. Then the backup keyboard is relax, listen to the progression. Understand?
But for your grace,
Listen,
I would go.
So you can enter from here, slow and steady. Then watch what happens.
I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace.
Pause.
And but for
Then you play.
your grace,
Pause. Then you play again. Pause.
But for
Then you play
your
again.
grace, I would.
You man, now you don't have to do it like me because everybody's creativity is totally different. But you can take some very good tips from what I've explained right now. Because there are some situations you can find yourself playing in the midst of 4 auxiliary keyboardists. You're the number 4 auxiliary keyboardist playing. So what do you play at that point? So it is more like, that's why I said most keyboardists, piano players have a little idea about music production. It shows how sound should come in. All sounds cannot come in at the same time. And that's why you as an accompanying piano player, as a backup piano player, as an auxiliary piano player, you're backing up the main keyboardist. You have to understand, especially when you're using this string sound. String sound, it's a very sharp, it's how will I say it? It's not a sound that you want to use to make noise. So it should come in little. So the first sound you can use as an auxiliary keyboardist is these strings. It's a string sound. Now, if you want to play too steady, you understand? What can you use? You can use a sound, you can use pad voices. You can use pad voices. If you use pad voices, it is allowed. You can play continuously. That's very okay to use pad voices. But don't play straight when you're using strings. Don't try it. It's going to sound clashy. Now, let's just make further example. And use a pad voice. I'm going to take a pad voice right now. Now, this pad I'm using is called one pad. A lot of us have this one pad, so this is called one pad. But when you're using this, you now have to balance your volume in a way that, so this is where your creativity comes in. You understand? You have to make sure your volume is not too loud, it's not too low, it is not fighting with the frequency of the main keyboardist. And also your choice of pad voice is different. Now pad is different from strings. This is how pad sounds. In fact, let me use, there's a pad I like using, also one pad, but this is it. You see what happens now when we add this. This is one pad also. One pad, yeah. So this is it. So now I have this pad voice. I'm going to turn down my volume of my keyboard. It's not you're using pad voice, you increase volume. That's why you like fighting with the sound engineer. Every time you're a sound engineer, you're fighting. Well, I know some very funny sound engineer, they'll reduce your volume. You understand? Naturally, you should keep your volume on 12 o'clock. If you put your volume more than 12 o'clock, it means the sound engineer did not do a good job during sound check. At 12 o'clock, you should be able to hear yourself loud and clear. You understand what I mean by 12 o'clock? When your volume knob is set in the middle, 12 o'clock. Because most times we adjust volume, we use time to say, okay, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So it's easy to know where you want to put your volume. So at 12 o'clock, you can't hear yourself clear, then there's a problem with the setting. So I reduce my settings, I reduce my strings, my pad voice. Now, you see, this is pad voice. This is how it sounds. Now, let me show you how string sounds also. Just strings, just use right away, right now. So you understand. So you see this is now. You see how string is sounding. Then you see how pad is sounding. You see pad now. You notice that pad is more soothing. It's more calm. It's more emotional. It is more piercing to the soul. You understand? So that is what pad voice can do. It has more piercing sound. However, I've shown you how to use string voice. If you're using strings, don't play continuously. It should come and go. Create tension. It's more like you're trying to create a kind of orchestral atmosphere. You understand? It's not something that should be stable on. If not, it's going to be harsh. Because imagine this is how string sounds. You understand? But this is how pad sounds. Now, oops. Testing 1, 2. Testing. Oh, mic. Yep. So now let's use a pad voice and reduce the volume of our pad and play our music again. Remember, the first one we used was strings. Now, as we keep going, I will record it and I'll show you how it is. So I'm going to record it in the music production software here and show you how it is. Understand? So this is pad voice. Let's play our music again.
But for your grace,
Now, pad voice, you're allowed to play straight. You understand? Because it's already calm. So you do.
I would go my way. I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace. And but
You see what's happening?
grace, I could not be saved.
Now, I'm going to take off.
But for your
No more pad voice. It's sounding, but the pad voice gives it this kind of feel that makes it full. It makes the atmosphere full. You understand? The music is full on itself, but the pad voice makes it even fuller. Now let's record it to create more emphasis on it. I'm going to record it right away. Then I'm going to create more so that when I'm explaining, I'm showing you the practical application of this. Now, don't forget to share this video so more persons can join. Now, I'm going to record pad. So, I'm going to keep it here and I'm going to call this pad. Okay, so I'm going to color it pink. Good. Okay, so I have pad. So, I'm going to record it now. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh. Sorry. So pad now. Yep. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, go.
But for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go my way. I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace.
See?
And but for your
I can play steady because I'm using pad.
be saved. But for your grace, I would go my way. I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to
Beautiful sound.
me, Lord, for your amazing grace.
Good. So we have a pad sound there. So you see? So this is our pad voice. Now I'm going to switch everything off so you can hear the pad and the drums together.
But for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your
So just for more emphasis sake, I'm going to turn down the volume of the pad a little bit. So you see how it sounded. Now when you're playing with a band and you have plenty other instrumentalists playing, it is not compulsory that you must overhear yourself to the point that you must see. There are some hearing that are perceived hearing. Some sounds you just have to perceive it. Once you can hear it to a fault, that's good. It's not like you must increase it. Everybody is increasing their volume, fighting for space. You're destroying the music. In a well-organized setting, even if you have 100 instrumentalists playing together, once everybody knows when they should play, what they should play, learn not to fight with each other's groove, you have an organized music. And let me tell you, it is, even if maybe you're a trumpeter or whatever, or I know why I like calling trumpeters, because they like to look for my trouble. You're a trumpeter, you're a saxophonist. It's not every time you should enter. And that's why I gave that example with strings. It's not every time you should enter. There's some time you pause. There's some time you wait. Some sounds you enter when they say, okay, time to solo. You know, sometimes you stay. In fact, let me not go there. That's the topic on another day. Now, this is the pad voice. Now, without pad voice, this is what we had.
But for your grace, I could not.
Sounds beautiful.
Be saved.
Now, let us switch on our pad and see how it adds color.
I would go my way. I'm
See?
forever grateful. Got to be
Adds more beauty.
faithful.
Now, how many instrumentalists do we have here? We have 1 drummer, 2 basses, 3 keyboardists, 4 guitarists. Don't forget there's a guitarist playing. No, this is what the guitarist is playing. That's why I tell you, it's not compulsory that it must overshadow everybody. You see what the guitarist is playing. You see now, only piano player and guitarist, but they are not clashing. That is how you know when the sound is organized. So, listening to other people's grooves and what they are playing, then think of what you should play that shouldn't clash. So, if you're using a technique that is clashing with somebody else, there's a problem. Some of you just play without considering other people that are in the band. You think you're soloing is a solo, or you're just caught there to play alone. You have to listen. What is this person's playing also? What can I play also? We are all backing up. In fact, I'm not going there. So you as an auxiliary keyboardist, you listen also. You think of what to play. So I've explained the first one. I said you can use strings. This second one now, I say pad. Now I'm just playing this. Now if I even add the bass, you see what happens. No drum, no nothing, but it is still beautiful. That is how it should sound. Everybody know when to enter, know what to do. Now we add all these. We have 4 instrumentalists. You understand? So we now have 1 auxiliary keyboardist who is playing the pad voice. Now let us have another auxiliary keyboardist that is going to play strings for us. Now I'll now tell you why when I apply that strings part. So let's say strings. I'm going to color this blue. Good. Let's be sure the screen has no change. Okay, so we'll have strings. So, so now we see strings here, which is here. Now I'll play. We have our pad, our guitar, we have our piano, our bass, our drum. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instrumentalists playing. Now, we need another auxiliary keyboardist. Now, we have our main keyboardist, which is piano. We have the first auxiliary keyboardist playing pad. Now, let's say it is a situation where they have 3 keyboards. You understand? You want to go and play. What should you play? Because some people, you see 3 keyboards, and maybe you have 3 keyboards there, or you go to an event, they have 3 keyboards, and they are only using 2. You now say, okay, let you go and play the 3rd one. By the time you go to play the 3rd keyboard, you will spoil everything because you're going there to play noise and scatter. You just scatter everything because your choice, your voice selection, everything Scatter. So now we want to use strings. We have someone playing auxiliary keyboard, which is pad. Now let us use strings. And remember what I told you about when you're using a string voice. You don't play every time. You come in from time to time. But if you're using pad, you can play pad straight. You can hold pad for as long as you can. Because it's emotional. It is not harsh. Now let us go to, let us change back to, and select our strings. So this is strings. So for now, I'm just going to introduce it for a little. Now let's play the sound again and see. Now I'm listening.
I could not be saved.
Because I'm using string.
But for
I'm listening.
grace, I would go.
Now I want to enter now. Watch what happens.
I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace.
You rest.
And but for your grace, I could not be saved.
You rest.
But for your grace,
You listen
I
again.
would go
Every time.
my way.
Then you want to create another tension.
I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace.
You rest again. You rest. You go again.
But
So
for
you see how the string is entering. It's not every time it's entering. So that's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it fine. It's not.
but for your grace,
You're fighting with the sound. Like I said, everybody's creativity is totally different. You understand? But you can use this to have a very good pace when you want to play along with with a main keyboard. You see, the main keyboardist is not now busy going to do. Okay, let me show you this one. Let me show you. I'm going to keep this here. Now imagine I'm going to shut down this main keyboardist and I'm going to act as a noisy main keyboardist. Now I'm now playing like this because I can play. I want to make noise. Watch. So I'm playing. Now watch.
but for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go my way. I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for
So
your
what I tried to do was that's noisy. That's noisy. Oh, the simple chords, simple progression. Why you're being unusually skillful and creative with it. So if I'm playing like this,
but for
Five.
your grace, I could not
4,
be saved.
1,
But for your grace, I would go my way. I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace.
that is why most of you, when you see somebody playing on stage, because they are not making noise, you say, this person don't know how to play. This person don't know how to play. If it's me, I'll go and finish. What do you want to go and play? You go there and go and make noise. That's not it. You understand? The fact someone is being disciplined when playing with the band, it is totally different. I'm going to shut down everybody and I'm going to play as alone as the keyboardist. Now my playing will be totally different. You understand? Right now, watch what happens. Now, if I'm going to play alone and the singer is singing, watch what happens.
But for your grace, I could not be saved.
See what happens.
But for your grace, I would go my way.
See?
I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace.
I get more busy because I'm alone. I'm playing alone. I'm not playing with the band. When I'm playing with the band, I have to consider the lead guitarist is there doing something. I'm talking to you now, main keyboardists that like to make noise. You should be the one to hold down the groove. If anything about noise, it's the auxiliary keyboardists that should be doing it. You should hold down the groove, make the music cool, and you should monitor the auxiliary keyboardists when they are trying to overdo what they are supposed to do. You understand? In most cases, when I have auxiliary keyboardists, I even tell you, I like even playing the auxiliary keyboardists because it gives me the freedom to be creative and expressive. So I like playing the auxiliary keyboardists. You understand? So now we have pad. I've shown you for pad.
But for your grace,
Good. Now, what of that sound can you use? So we say I've shown you how to use strings. I'm not going to record that. I'm just going to keep it to show you that. So the next one you can use as an auxiliary keyboard when you have keyboardists, you can use sounds called synths, synthesizers. Synthesizers. You know, a lot of people have these options on their keyboard and they don't use it. You understand? They have all these options on their keyboard, but they don't utilize all these options. So there are sounds called synthesizers. It's just synths. So you can go there. Now, one synth I like to use, let me look for it. Just a second, let me look for that synth sound. It's, let me see if I'm going to find it. If I find it, I'll let you know right away. So let's look for that synth sound. So you can use a synth sound when you will have another keyboardist playing a pad. Don't go and use synth when there's no pad voice already. You have grand piano and immediately you want to say you're playing auxiliary. Unless probably the person playing grand piano is doing a dual. You know, understand? There's a layer voice, he's using a pad layer voice. But even at that, what I do most of the time is I split the keyboard. This side, I'm going to put pad. This side, I'm going to put my synth or whatever I want to do. You understand? And if you're lucky enough, you have 2 or 3 keyboards as your auxiliary. You have 2 or 3 keyboards. You can just put one keyboard pad, one keyboard strings, one keyboard synth. You understand? So that you don't have to stress yourself with all the settings and the rest. That's why I tell people, the more advanced you go, the more easy it is for you. But you don't understand. Now, imagine you go for you see a big event and you see a keyboard is playing 4 keyboard. And you're there saying, wow. It's just to make things easy. They split everything. They don't have to bother about saving and they split everything. They have choose, okay, this first keyboard is going to play strings, second keyboard is going to play pad. Everything is easy for the auxiliary keyboard. But us that are coming up, you now have to start switching immediately, trying to change, trying to do like you're a DJ, which is even more stressful for you. So like I said, the more advanced you get, the more tools you have to make things easy for you. A lot of keyboardists have turned to DJ. They switch. It's not easy, but that is what it is. So let us look for this synth sound. I like, there's a particular synth sound I like. Let's see if it's this. Let's see if it's this one. No, I don't think it's this one. I think it's gonna be this one. I think I like this one. But that's not emotional for me. So they use your discretion when you're looking for a particular sound anyways. Okay, so good. I like this synth sound. So I'm going to apply this. Now, let's do this. I'm trying to adjust the, 1 second. Okay, trying to adjust the pitch bend. Okay, good. So we have our synth sound here, ready to go. Now we're going to play our sound again.
but for your grace, I could not.
Now, when should you use synth? Especially when you have, the sound I'm using is called monopoly. You understand? But you can use different synth sounds you have on your keyboard. When should you use synth? There's synth lead sounds and the rest. You should use synth when there is a tension in the music. Now, in this particular soundtrack I used, I didn't create any tension with the synth. There's a point of saying, but for your grace, everybody go to your... No, that point that there's a tension, there's a lot of ad-libs hitting this music. That's when you now want to use your synth sound to create more tensions. So let's continue. So you can still do it calmly, it's still okay. Synth also works like strings. You shouldn't do it every time. You should come and go. So watch.
But for your grace, I could not.
Okay. Show you what's gonna happen there.
But for your grace, I would go my way. I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace. And but for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace,
And anything you're playing, try to make sure you're not crashing with the singer. So most times I'll say, do the solo, the skills, when the singer is silent. For example, but for your grace, you can do something. I will then, you can do something. Your way, do something. You have that space, so something like this.
but for your grace, I could not be saved.
So you see, I'm doing it in between when I have little space and the singer is not saying anything, or in between when the singer is trying to take some breath, then I do it too. Do you understand?
But for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go my way.
Now watch.
I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing.
Then you can start creating tension. If it's a song that has a tension,
But for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go my way. I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful.
see what's happening. But you have to make sure that you're still organized in what you're doing, so it doesn't sound noisy. So another sound you can use as a backup key. So, because some people are out of ideas when they play auxiliary keyboard, they're like, oh, what? It's not that because you're playing auxiliary keyboard, you must be playing every time. Because if they sing a song for 10 minutes, you must play for that 10. No, it's to calm down, you play, calm down, you play. That's what makes it beautiful. Let the lead piano player play what they want to play. And that process, when you calm down, it gives the main keyboardist the time to express themselves also and be creative and beautiful, so that you guys don't fight. Now, what's the next sound you can use as an auxiliary keyboardist? Backup keyboardist, anyways. You can use a sound. You can use sound Cool Riot. Yeah, Cool Riot. Now, I'm going to do the praise version. If I get 60 shares for this video, I'll do a praise version. Else, I'll just take another topic. So I'll do the praise version tomorrow, because a lot of people don't know how to back up. Oh, that one, praise. During praise, when people play backup, that one, that's when they fight very well. That's like the main fight. So let's go. So I'm going to pick a sound. Now this sound is Cool Riot. You all know what Cool Riot sounds. Well, I'll show you how it sounds. Let me look for it. So you can also use, but remember, when applying all this, make sure there is a steady pad sound already. So it has this full sound. You can switch between sounds. You understand? So if you have your strings laid out, you have your Cool Riot laid out, you have your synth laid out, everything. You can now switch. You say play strings this to now. The next time you play, so that's what makes the music even creative and beautiful. And there are some songs that are sweet to use strings as an auxiliary. Some are sweet to use pad, cool right, and the rest. You understand? So cool. I think I like this one. I just heard something I like, so I like this one. So you see. But this one is it's nice, but it has the. I'm looking for a cool riot. Let's see. I think this one is it. So we all know what cool riot is found, you know, with your keyboard. See, so you see this one. So you can use this sound as an auxiliary keyboardist also to make the music sound beautiful. Now watch this.
But for your grace, I could not be saved.
So what happened?
But for your grace, I would go.
And I'm gonna come in just the same with the strings.
I'm forever grateful. Got to be so faithful to me, Lord, for your amazing grace. And but for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go away.
So most times, cool riot works like when you want to do some kind of crazy skills. Something like this.
But for your grace, I could not be saved.
Then you pause.
But for
So you get-
your grace, I would go my way.
Because it is not enough to just use a sound as an auxiliary keyboardist or backup keyboardist, and you don't know what context are you using that sound on. You understand? Like, what context should you use that sound? So it's very essential to know the context where you're using the sound. So this one is, I like this cool riot. It's very beautiful. Understand? If you want to create some tension with it, you can create also very beautiful. So no matter if you have 10 keyboards playing, if you know what you're doing, you'll be able to fit in. And if everybody coordinates themselves, you'll be able to fit in. Do you understand? So this one, you can use Cool Riot, showing you a little bit of some examples you can try with it. Understand? Then, what other one can you use? You have Cool Riot. You can use a violin. You can use so many. As the auxiliary keyboardist now, you have to be switching from voice to voice depending on the mood, depending on the context, depending on what you're looking for. You know why I use these ones? It's because I know physically most times you can't see a keyboard, an instrument that's called Cool Riot that is playing there. No, you can always see trumpeter, saxophonist, violinist. You understand? Lead guitarist and the rest. That's why I'm not using it as an auxiliary. I didn't tell you you can use those ones. You understand? But I'm using the one that, if peradventure you have all these ones I've listed live on stage, like right now on this stage you have a lead guitarist, you have all these ones live on stage. You understand? You can use all these sounds because some people are handicapped. Once there's a lead guitarist on stage, they don't even know what to play again. Once there's a second keyboard, they don't even know what. In fact, if they now have two keyboards playing, then have to tell them to go and play the third keyboard. That one, you have finished them. They don't know what to play. They are only used to playing one sound, used to playing main keyboard. No. There are several options you can explore. So you as the auxiliary, I love playing auxiliary keyboards. In fact, most times when I go for events with other keyboards, I just tell them, please, let me play the auxiliary keyboard. Do you understand? Let me play the auxiliary. You play the main one. We run. So you get. Now, don't take it like the auxiliary keyboard is even doing. They're doing more work because you're accompanying. But see, the main keyboard is, because they are playing, they are doing more work than you, sir. because the main keyboardist, piano player, they are the one that plays the main progression. Everybody flows. I've explained that previously in the video, so I don't think there's a need. Now we're going to play through this again, and I'll be switching sounds in this music. I'll be switching sounds. Now we have our part voice. We have our part voice already, so I'll be switching. So let's go.
But for your grace,
Beautiful.
But for your grace, I will go my way. I'm forever.
So let's go to string.
That's faithful to me, Lord.
This is strings first. Let's try again with strings. Pause. It's not every time.
But for your grace, I could not.
You know, one thing with strings, it is supposed to do a replacement for an orchestra. String is small. So if you're playing, think. And that is why I'm going to advise you, open your mind, listen to different kinds of music, you understand? So that you're able to picture, oh, okay, in this settings, you can even take ideas from them. If for example, it was fire. Understand? So let's go again.
Saved, it was for your grace, I will go my way.
And watch what
I'm
happens.
forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your name.
Now let's change to another sound. Another one now with our synth.
But for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go my way.
So what
I'm
happened?
forever grateful that you've been so faithful to me, Lord, for your
And I want to go harder.
but for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace, I would go my way.
Let's go back to strings.
I'm forever grateful that you've been so faithful.
Okay.
I would go my way. I'm
So what's happening? Very beautiful as an auxiliary keyboardist, switching between sound.
But for your grace, I could not be saved. But for your grace,
So see,
I would
that's
go.
how you can play as an auxiliary. So this is very good ideas you can explore. So that is the master the art of accompaniment, piano as a backup instrument. So this should help you. There's more to this. I might see if I'm going to do a part 2 of this, and also I might see if I'm going to do the praise version of this. This is for worship anyways, but you can use this idea for any other music genre. You understand? So thanks for watching. See you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.